forced us. If you say you got a call on your life, okay, the only place you can do it is in the pulpit. Yeah. And that's why we have so many people erroneously placed in that position and mishandling that position because we're forcing them to be in a box. And God said, go. So I go on TikTok. I go on Facebook. I go in Walmart. I stop and I talk to people. That is ministry for me. And your ministry may look different than mine, but we're all called to something and to someone. And I'm finally okay with who I'm called to and what I'm called to do. And it may not look conventional. So good. But that's okay because Jesus wasn't conventional.
He was not. He wasn't in a church building.
What church did he go to?
Not
Listen, okay. All right, here we go. Desiree. Listen, you guys, I did start with the song because I don't know, my friend just kind of like she bought me a medicine ball this morning.
I mean, you know,
and she don't go to Starbucks.
I don't really know.
And this is not a Starbucks ad until they pay me. Okay, but welcome to Jess Ask The Podcast, where we create a safe space for influencers to decompress, have fun, and guess what? Just ask. Listen, today is a great day. First of all, it's a great day. Let me shout some special people out before we get started, honey, because I know some of y'all are entering the room expecting some greatness, and you're going to get it. But before anything, listen, we got to say thank you because we got some sponsors. Ooh. Hey, my God, we done got some sponsors, and they go by the JD and the D Funby. We appreciate you. We're here at the Link in Birmingham, on the east side of Birmingham, and you guys, this is an entrepreneurial space, a center where you can be creative. They have podcast rooms, they have meeting rooms. Right now, we're in a conference room, and you guys, listen. This is a space where you want to be. This is a debt-free space. Come on, somebody. It's miracles in this space. This is a Black-owned space.
Talk about the faith walk.
You say what?
I said talk about the faith walk.
Listen, faith walk. They built this by hand. Like literally, so if you want to see a miracle, if you want to be a part of the miracle that has happened here just in Birmingham, you know, you want to pull up at the Link. You want to get to know if you have an event or anything, like, listen, the Funbies will take care of you. So shout out to the Funbies. Shout out to the Link. Thank you so much for being the first sponsors of Jess Ask The Podcast. Let's give it up for the Link. Listen, y'all might hear that voice. Oh, y'all, hold up. I'm nervous and I'm trembling. Sing, Jess. Listen, y'all, the young lady that we have here today, listen, I am super excited about this young woman. She is the total package. Like, UPS ain't got nothing on her, okay?
Not UPS.
Not UPS, FedEx, and them, DHL, whatever you try to do, the package, they don't have it on her. Listen, she is an entrepreneur. She's a businesswoman. She is a coach. She is... Listen, she is anointed. Listen, she is an entertainer. I can't even just say she's a singer, actress. She is an entertainer.
Come on.
Some of y'all might know her as Auntie Pam or the founder of Listen. And the Hush Ministry. Yes. Some of y'all need it.
Yes.
All right. We have none other than the beautiful, the talented Erika Kellom.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
I feel like a Baptist preacher or something. And you just introduced me and I'm about to give a word or something. That was a great introduction though. Thank you so much. I'm humbled.
It's an honor to introduce you.
Wow.
It's an honor to be in your presence. Like we We met this year. We met this year.
I think it was January or February.
It was January. It was my birthday.
Yes.
It was my birthday, and these girls then took me out and surprised me, and you were the nightcap to my birthday. So I'm really excited, you guys. If you don't know her, you gonna know her by the end of this podcast. She is somebody to know. Like, she is the evidence of God's grace. Ugh. Like, literally, you are the evidence of God's grace. So I'm super excited about this conversation. But like she said, we met in January. And was it the Aretha? Mm-hmm. It was the
Aretha Franklin tribute. Mm-hmm.
And baby, she did that. Mm-hmm. So fun fact, y'all know I always have fun facts about my guests, right? Fun fact, with us that night, she allowed 3 people to get on stage because of their birthday. They were celebrating birthday. I thought she was gonna sing us happy birthday. Mm-mm. She got us to sing. Mm-hmm. And y'all already know about the whole Tabitha Brown story. Now, at this point of my birthday, I knew about the opportunity, but it was not public, right? Mm-hmm. And when she invited us on stage, she had us sing. What was that?
Giving him something he could feel.
Listen. And then I was the first one. I looked at her like, she came close to me. I thought I was just,
you was getting it, baby.
They were in there, I was snatched.
You was now. I said, okay then.
But I was enjoying myself because you were just killing the show. I haven't experienced you. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who Auntie Pam was. My first introduction to you was your voice. But baby, you entertained. Like, you kept the room going. It's only certain people that I've experienced like that. That can just hold a room like you did. And so I was so grateful. So she got us on stage and we sang. She had me do mine twice.
Because you know why? Let me tell you why.
What?
I always like try to do something in my show to bring the audience in, because I don't want it to be like y'all paid to see me and y'all just sitting there watching. I want you to feel the word of the day is experience. I want you to still, when you get in the car that night, be talking about, girl, we had a good time. So bringing somebody on stage, I don't know who it's going to be. Didn't know it was going to be you, which is now a full circle moment. You know, I don't think that anything just happens. Yeah. But I could tell you were so nervous. And I was like, we finna get rid of this. So I was like, sing it again. And that second time, you gave it.
Listen.
Okay.
And she did not know. Afterwards, I went and hugged you. You remember that? And I was like, I needed that. Like,
you
literally
said that.
I said, I needed this.
You said that.
That night broke me from being afraid of the stage.
Come on.
That night, I've been on stages, but normally it's like the church stage.
But he was preparing you for the stage, because shortly after that, and we don't know each other or did not talk, but after that, remember I messaged you and I was like, something is telling me that you gonna be the one that's gonna be with Tabitha, and you were like, I don't know nothing about that. I can't say, but I felt it.
But she knew though.
I felt it, and it was no animosity, because people were tagging me in the post. People were tagging you and other people from Birmingham, but even though I was being tagged, I knew it wasn't my time. That was not for me. It was not for me. And so when I said, wait a minute, it's her. When you made the announcement, when I say I was so happy, still am happy for you having that opportunity, but just to know that a month or so before that, you were dealing with fear that nobody even knew about, and that moment allowed you to see, I can get on this stage. Yeah. And it prepared the table.
Listen,
I'll tell you, she anointed y'all. For you to go on and sit down, and you sat on the table with Tabitha Brown, and now you sitting at another table.
This table keep coming up.
You better come on here.
Okay.
This table keep coming up. You in the vein.
I don't know nothing about nothing. I
you
just
don't.
I know it's mighty early, so I got to love you to be up this early. Okay? Because baby, my auntie lays down on Saturday.
Speaking of auntie, Auntie Pam. Listen. Am I doing it right? Okay, let me try it. Prepare me. Listen.
Hold the lid.
Listen.
Sit down in it. Yeah, you got to almost do the snake to the front. Like, listen. Because, baby, you finna sit down. When you say them words, what comes after that about to be powerful. Not powerful. Powerful. Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, listen. That's it.
Okay, first of all, let's start about saying I have an actual Auntie Pam.
You do?
I have an actual Auntie Pam. And how direct she is, the Auntie Pam, your character Auntie Pam, reminds me so much of the directness, my Auntie Pam. So to me, it's a full circle moment. Can we talk about how Auntie Pam was even created, where she come from? Is she a real auntie? Because she feel real on TikTok.
Okay, so Pam is my mom's name. Her name is Pamela, so that's how I named her. But like, we don't have those auntie figures like we used to have back in the day. And so I created her really by mistake, just being myself. I was raised by my grandmother, wasn't able to really go outside because, baby, when I say she was saved, sanctified, and filled with the precious gift of the Holy Ghost, I ain't wear pants till I was in the 4th grade. Hear me? On them Point Mallet trips, I had on the blue jean skirt with safety pins in the middle to go swimming.
No.
With blue jean skirt. You know how heavy that was in that water.
Was you sinking?
Deep in sin, yeah. So my grandmother, even though she was saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, baby, my grandmama had a 20-foot cord on her telephone. She talked on the phone all day. Her phone went from the front door to the back. She would have that cord. Weak. I'm not, anybody in my family know. So the whole talking on the phone, we don't do that. We text.
Yeah.
We send emails.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just bring back that feel good, nostalgic feeling of what we experienced growing up and just things about our culture that sometimes people may not understand. We know exactly what it means, but just to bring an awareness and just to make people smile and take a brief break from all the chaos and everything that's going on in the world, to just decompress for a few minutes, laugh, and literally just smile. So she was created just as an outlet for me as an actress, and not being able to, get on stage during COVID as we wanted to. And then I'm 52 years old now. So
hold on, wait. Stop the press. Wait a minute.
Nope. Not gonna go by that.
We're not gonna pass that.
You
what?
what?
You how many old?
52.
Bruh.
Does she look like she?
I need to see your license and registration.
My purse is over there. I
get the night cream that you using? Because my God,
I am 52 years old. So
it's true. I can't.
Black don't crack.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I don't. And I will say, growing up, not being able to go outside and all that, I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now because I have been preserved for such a time as this. I didn't live no hard life. A lot of things that people experience as young women, I didn't experience that. So that's all I can tell you. I was preserved for now. I was put up for now. And my mind, 52 years old is too late. But God preserved me so I don't look like I'm 52, so I can still do things that other people do because I've been preserved for now.
Jesus.
Erika. Erika.
Jesus.
Erika, what a collection plate. Does Auntie Pam does she have a collection plate?
No. The giving information will be on the screen.
Okay.
You just said a mouthful. And speaking of preservation, one of the things that I believe is that not only are we preserved physically, but we're preserved mentally, we're preserved with our hearing. And one of the things that I heard when you said listen again, like that whole statement is a command.
It is.
It's a command because that's an art. The art of listening is real. And so where did that whole listen come into play?
I have no idea. I really don't. People may not believe me, but when I do the skits, I do not write anything down. I just press go on my phone, and whatever I say, I don't think about it, I post it, and I leave it. I don't know what it's doing, how well it's doing, because that's not the motivation of me posting it. The motivation of me posting it is to release something for me. Y'all just getting the raindrops from what I'm releasing. I am an artist. I am a creative. And those of us who are creatives, I feel like God put a little extra chromosome in us. And we don't think like others. We don't quite function like others. So in order for a creative to be understood, most times it's by another creative. Like, we don't really go to sleep. We lay down, but we don't really go to sleep because in our mind, it's all kind of things. What I'm going to do tomorrow? What can I do? It doesn't stop. And so my outlet from that rat race that goes on is to record, it makes me feel good to read the comments of people saying, I was having a bad day and this just like literally just wiped me out. And so no, when I do videos, let me clarify what Auntie Pam does not do. I don't talk about everything. So I do this call to heaven, which was generated. The first one I did was in 2016 when Prince died. I couldn't believe Prince was gone. Okay. I had to call heaven and find out. First of all, did he have his stuff? Who gonna do his hair? Do he got his boots? What's going on? Who is in charge of Prince Boots in heaven? And y'all, that video went viral. I didn't even know what viral was. People were sending saying, girl, I saw this. And I was like, okay, whatever. I went on about my life. Never thought anything else. So then when Betty White passed, people started inboxing me. Hey, can you call heaven and see if Betty up there? And from there, when Queen Elizabeth, hey, call and see if Queen Elizabeth. And when I call, like I do know some story about the person, but I don't call on everybody. And this is not to sound deep or spiritual, but if I don't feel inclined to call, I'm not calling. If I don't feel inclined to make an Auntie Pam video that day, I don't do it. Again, I'm not doing. Y'all are enjoying them, and I'm so thankful. But I do it to keep me sane. And as a result of me releasing what's inside of me, other people are blessed by it.
What I heard while you were talking was my cup runneth over. So as you think of being like a creative, God has put these things inside of us. Yeah. And so as he's pouring in the creativity, the peace, the love, like we have to have a space for it to go. Especially as a creative. It's gotta go somewhere. It's gotta go somewhere. So as you're pouring out, like you think like I just gotta release, right? But the beauty is we get to enjoy that. We're blessed to be a blessing. So he's blessing you with this creativity, with the peace, the joy, so that you can pour it out on the other people. Like you said, I'm just doing it because this is what I need. But she's blessing so many people, man.
And that's the part. Like sometimes we can selfishly look at ourselves and say, oh well, I just need this moment to solve it. Bro, you could have grieved about Prince by yourself.
I could have.
You literally could have grieved about Prince by yourself, but because you were open and transparent, and I think God blessed that because you were, thank you Holy Spirit, God blessed that because you were open to it. And so you going back, we talk about creatives because we all in the room are creatives, right? I think it gets I think the discouraging part for me, and I want you to speak to this, is seeing lackadaisical or lack of effort in the art of comedy, podcasting, people just throwing stuff together because they have the influence to do it, not the purpose to do it. How do you manage those emotions or seeing people? How have you managed it in the past? Because you it's like you've been doing stuff, you've been preparing stuff, and then boom, God just blew your mind. Like, so how has that journey been for you, being able to not whether you compared yourself or not, how has that journey been looking at other people excel in different ways? It's like, why is this?
I think that it's important for us to just be real and honest. Anybody who is doing anything, for the most part, has looked at someone else and said, like, dang, what am I doing wrong? Or why is it this and not that? And why is it them and not me? And what keeps me grounded is, again, not to, because some people can get super deep and spiritual, but why do we read things that we don't believe? Why would I get discouraged by your journey when I know that the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endures to the end. So instead of looking at you, my name was on the same line of names as your name was to sit with Tabitha Brown. It can be your time, but not your turn. It wasn't my turn.
Whoa.
It was your turn.
God.
It was time because the opportunity was presented to all of us, but it wasn't my turn. So go back to your message and read what I said. I said, I'm happy for you because what that lets me know is the line is moving. And literally, God watches how we celebrate other people who are doing the same thing, who may not be doing it as good as we think they should be doing it. He watches how we celebrate. So my advice to people who are creative and who are struggling with, celebrate other people because God is watching. He's watching your sincerity. He's watching, I see her little podcast. Ain't nothing little about nothing that I'm doing. I don't have a small business. I have a big business. I saw her doing her little Auntie Pam. Ain't nothing little about nothing that I'm doing. Literally, my body ain't little. My eyes ain't little. Ain't nothing little or small about me. And so I don't allow people to speak that on me. But it's all in how you celebrate others. And when you're genuine, God said, okay, I see that she was really, really happy for Jess. I tried to get tickets and could not. Wow. So because I couldn't, I made sure every day leading up to it, even the day of, hey girl, you're going to do amazing tonight. God watches how we celebrate others in their victories. And that's so important because hater, competition, all those words, even though people say, everybody isn't a hater. But haters do exist.
They do.
And so it is normal for a human being to feel like they're not where they think they should be. But learn to celebrate others because in Amos, it says that stuff will start happening.
So fast.
And that literally is what happened. I still don't, I be looking back. Facebook will write me and say, your reel is doing really good. And I look down at the numbers and it say 1 million. And I be like, what? So to think, it's really overwhelming because when you really look at the numbers, social media and a platform is given to you. But a lot of people don't take it responsibly, and I do. When you've been given a platform, you are responsible for what comes out of your mouth.
That's so good.
You are responsible for what comes across your feed. So there are certain things, and we were talking about that right before we started. It's certain people that should never sit in this chair. I'm not worthy. But you have to protect your brand, and the need for success should not make you compromise your integrity. There are some stages I will never go on. There are some places I will never go because I'm not willing to compromise who I know I'm called to be. This is ministry, so really.
Yes. And I think that's where, especially, and we can go there here on this platform, and we go there all the time. Whereas not only you talk about the responsibility, but it's a responsibility, especially to those who believe in the God that we believe in, because our creativity is an extension of God's evidence that He is God. Like, what do I look like going around just putting out anything when it's a reflection on the person that I call Abba? Like I'm calling you daddy and I'm out here acting a fool.
And that was a journey for me. So some people know and some people don't. I was licensed. I'm an elder in God's church and went through the whole council, sat before the council. They had me in there 4 hours answering questions. I've been there and I did that. And although I did it as unto God, but I knew when I did it, I was not called to the pulpit. And I feel like the church only gives us one place to go. So all of us have a call, but everyone is not called to the pulpit. Even though I knew in my gut, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And honestly, now sitting here in 2024, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I know that my gift may look different, and a lot of people may think this is not ministry. People may say that, she's just doing a podcast. That's not ministry. But ministry does not look the same for everyone. And I feel like the church has forced us. If you say you got a call on your life, okay, the only place you can do it is in the pulpit. Yeah. And that's why we have so many people erroneously placed in that position and mishandling that position because we're forcing them to be in a box. And God said go. So I go on TikTok. I go on Facebook. I go in Walmart. I stop and I talk to people. That is ministry for me. And your ministry may look different than mine, but we're all called to something and to someone. And I'm finally okay with who I'm called to and what I'm called to do. And it may not look conventional. So good. But that's okay because Jesus wasn't conventional.
He was not. He wasn't in a church building.
What church did he go to?
Not now. not now.
Can you pull his church attendance?
Not now.
Huh?
Jesus was out there in them streets.
Whose Sunday school class was he in?
He was in the streets.
That man was in them streets.
The streets.
Jesus was for the streets. I'm sorry, she said, who church he went? Because I want to know. Who church did he go to?
Bethel Baptist.
No, baby. Jesus, that man was in the synagogue. That man was at the pool.
Yeah.
He was at folk houses.
Yeah.
Rarely was he.
But
we keep saying that that's our example.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay. My brain is going wild right now because this is so exciting. You mentioned brands.
Mm-hmm.
When I say you have a whole brand, EPK, Epic, pronounce Epic, get it right. Okay, so you go from let's go back to that place because were you doing entertainment? Were you consider yourself an entertainer when you was a businesswoman? Like because in my mind it's like you're a coach, you're a businesswoman, you're fashionista, you're doing everything. So how did you know when to not even step away from that, but zoning your focus on the entertainment part?
So I haven't. That's the thing. People always have said, "Oh, you so extra. You do everything. What you can't do." And you got to be careful what you allow people to speak. And when you receive it, you got to be careful how you receive it. So when people would say stuff like that about me, like, "Hey, your hair got to be done. Your watch got to match. Your purse got to match. You so extra." And that used to hurt my feelings until I remember. I sat with that thing. It's nothing wrong with me. I'm extra and you're basic. I do too much. You don't do enough. So instead, and that's not being facetious. I'm saying you really have to stop allowing people to put things on you in a negative way. And so who said that because I'm doing Auntie Pam that I got to stop being a business coach? Who said that because I'm a business coach that I can't be an entrepreneur? Is it a balancing act? Absolutely. But I can do exceedingly abundantly. Exceedingly and abundantly does not mean one thing at a time. Not for me. So I started my boutique in 2016. I walked away from corporate America to pursue full-time entrepreneurship. And I did my boutique. I started out selling eyeglasses at my kitchen table for $10 on Periscope. You remember Periscope? Mm-hmm. That's where I started. And from there, it has grown to a 6-figure brand.
Wow.
We go live. We do live sales, basically personal shopping. I cater to the plus size woman because I'm a plus size woman. And I got tired of going places and everybody had on the same dress. That's why I started, okay? Y'all little people can go find something and all the big girls be in there with the same Lane Bryant dress. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. So that's why I started. And I love cute eyeglasses. I think that was another connection for us. I love frames. I think they are an accessory. Mm-hmm. People just think earrings, but no, baby. A frame is a good accessory. So I started doing just the things that I loved and embraced. So I went live 3 times last week with my business. I coached last week. I did 3 mentorship sessions last week. I recorded 2 Auntie Pam videos last week. So it's all about balancing. And I'm a wife. I got a daughter that's in college. I got a son. Like I'm a lot of things, but I'm just getting to the place where I know, and I used to not know how to balance. I didn't. Like, I would be downstairs working to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And my kids knew if I wasn't in the bed, oh, she downstairs working. Right. But we have to balance, especially when you do more than one thing. So I haven't stopped doing anything. I've just learned how to balance.
So what's the secret?
Excuse me. No, a good planner. A good
you
planner.
You plan for yourself, or you have an assistant?
No, I'm Jesus is my manager. At this moment. No, really.
Look, the strong pause.
No, really. This is it's not a secret. On Sunday, I use Sunday afternoon to plan my week. And I know, everybody comes out with planners, and we've got all these cute planners stacked up in the corner, and we don't use them. But literally, the more that is on your plate, the easier it is to forget something on your plate. So I have to plan. I have to use my Google Calendar. I have to, know what I'm going to do that week. So you can't call me Monday and ask me to do something Wednesday, because my week has already been planned. So you have to use no. You have to no is a complete sentence. It's a complete sentence. My week is planned on Sunday. So if you want to get in on August the 5th through whatever, if I ain't got it by tomorrow, it ain't happening, Captain. And you got to be okay with that, because if you don't, you'll get overwhelmed. So I try to plan. Some weeks I nail it. Some weeks I don't. Be honest with yourself. Give yourself grace. Some weeks you're not going to emotionally or mentally be able to complete everything that's on your list. You got next week.
This is so good. Like, you're, as a creative and the influencer that you are, I think that it could come across that, I just got it together, you look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could look a certain way, and that's something I've been guilty of. Like, looking and saying, like, I can't do this because everybody got this, blah, blah, blah. But when you put yourself in the community or the company of these people, you'll say, hey, I got these struggles too, but this is how I overcome them.
And I think the beauty in that is, you were talking earlier, you touched on the listen. I think one of the biggest problems that we as people have is not understanding proper communication. I feel like our overall communication skills suck. If we're hurt, instead of us saying that we're hurt, we'll just be hurt by ourselves, and we'll project that in other ways. Instead of saying, you know what, Jess, when you said whatever, that kind of hurt my feelings. Instead of doing that, I'll go and start a whole smear campaign against your whole podcast. And you like, I don't even know what happened. Yeah. We've got to learn how to effectively communicate. When you're tired, when you don't have, yesterday, let's just be real. I had a whole schedule of what I was supposed to do yesterday. I went out back on my back porch, because that's my place. Like, I like being on the back porch because it's just, it's just good for me. Yeah. And I was supposed to be out there looking for products for the fall, for my fall line. And you know what I was doing? Fell asleep. I woke up, got me something to eat, went on TikTok for a minute. I looked up, it was 3 o'clock. At that moment, I felt the Holy Spirit said, now you could play, or you can go on and do what you got to do. It literally, I had to repent, because I was supposed to have been through at 3 o'clock. Here I am just starting at 3 o'clock, which had me downstairs in my office working until 11 o'clock last night, knowing that I had to get up this morning and come here. So no, ma'am, just because I know, we can know what to do and not do it. I know what to do, but I don't do it all the time. And that's the human part of us. Just because, we know how to dress things up. Of course, when I come on the podcast, I'm going to look a certain way. Yeah. But it's, again, you have given me a platform. I can use this platform for good, or I can use it for bad. I can sit here and act like, baby, I got it all together. Yup, my business makes 6 figures and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Girl, when you make 6 figures, your taxes is 5.
Listen.
So you're not making 6. And then the work associated with that, again, we major in minor and minor in major. And what is important is being true to your authentic self. you can be successful, but you also have to be honest. You know how that song say, good. All day long I've been with Jesus. That's an old, you lying. You ain't been with him all day. Because if you was with him all day, you wouldn't act the way you act sometimes.
Come on.
You wouldn't say some of the stuff you say. You wouldn't think some of the, so you don't be with him all day. You might be with him most of the day, but you don't be with him all day. And that's the thing. What I've learned is to be myself. And if you cannot accept me, flaws and all, I have been all 2024 in a season of goodbye.
Now, how has that season been? Because the goodbye is strong.
People who I never would have thought, people who I never would have imagined have fell off. And in my opinion, I'm still me. I'm still Erika. I'm still, I like to drop fish on Fridays. On Sunday, I'm going to be in the kitchen. I'm still me. I don't have a driver. You asking me about it. I don't have an assistant. Jesus is my manager. When I say that, I'm for real. I don't have a team of people. I haven't arrived. But you got to pay attention to people who fall off before you fully arrive. And you got to be okay with saying, I ain't mad. We ain't fell out. But where I'm going, unfortunately, there's no room in the car for you.
You are touching areas. You are.
And you got to be okay with that. And I am.
When I say you so anointed, like you just touched the area, I literally posted about this yesterday. And God had to show me, when I growing up, Erika, I don't know if you experienced this, but to be real, to be down is to be like consistent with the community and consistent with who you came up with. So it was just hard for me to break away from old relationships, no matter whether it was romantic or not. And I felt like I was denouncing my real card or the authentic card when I started seeing different relationships just kind of like take a turn. Or I'm genuinely confused because the honest to God truth is I'm not the same person that I was even 6 months ago. Like I'm continuously evolving. So my personal prayer has been, God, give me room in my heart to accept the new people that will help me enhance your kingdom.
The song No New Friends, that was a trend,
Yeah.
And it was a great beat, but the message, really, you can miss out on a golden opportunity by closing yourself off, saying, these are the people that I'm going to deal with. Nobody else can get in my circle. So this is it. This is all. And what if your next breakthrough is outside of that circle?
Come on.
And you have purposely told yourself. That was something that I'm not going to say I struggle with, but I go in, I don't care if I heard whatever, because I've been, people, oh, she a diva, oh, she this, oh, she that. And they don't even know me. They never had a conversation with me. People will tell you how somebody is, but they won't tell you what they did to contribute to them being that way. God. So you have to get to know people for yourself. I don't do secondhand information. You get to know people for yourself. And what you will find is that sometimes you have closed yourself off to somebody who may be the very blessing that you've been waiting for. And the people that you are holding on to are taking up space, being unproductive, being unsupportive. When people say stuff like, I saw your little podcast, X. It's certain little qualifications and certain things you could say that will get you booted out of my life real fast.
So it's almost like the keening your ear or having your ear to enhancing your ear, because it's like if they're dropping those seeds, what are they saying behind my back? And
I don't want to have to think about that. Yeah. I don't want to have to wonder, if we're out to eat and I go to the bathroom, am I the type? I don't want to have to wonder about that.
Why was that description so funny? I don't want to worry about. I don't want to have to worry about that.
When I'm in the bathroom reapplying my lipstick, I don't want to be like,
How they
talking? See, I go back in there and turn that whole table over. I can't deal with folks like that. So that is why I have been in a season of goodbye. If you cannot effectively communicate with me and tell me what's going on, where I'm going, right now, as of right now, I ain't got time to try to figure it out.
That's
not
so
right
good.
now. Because you know how much energy that takes when you could just say, you hurt my feelings. You didn't show up for me like I thought you should have. We could be done and over with that, and girl, go get us a 2-piece from churches and be through.
But the gag is that's not the problem. The problem is I don't know where I fit in your life now.
Why you just can't say that though?
Yeah, like I don't know where I fit. And let God to be the glory.
Now you know what? Hold on. Oh, you just sent a whole chill up, Auntie. So they don't know where they fit in my life. I never told you didn't fit in my life. But people be looking, assuming, okay, she got this, she got that. She probably ain't got time for. When I never said that. So you have just helped me. Because that resonated down in my lower stomach, girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you just told us that you big. Ain't nothing small about you. Like you're Auntie Pam and Erika.
All y'all, whoever I'm talking to.
You are a big deal.
Wow.
Like for you to even be here, for me, it's such a, like, the honor, like the seed, you're planting seeds right now that you don't even know.
Wow.
Like the people let's talk about your community, because these folk ride for you for real.
Girl.
Go and speak to your community.
Listen. Baby, when I leave here, I'm going to go down to Penny's. I need to go get me some stockings for church tomorrow, because Miss Price and them having a program. They having Friends and Family Day tomorrow at church. So I got to go get me some stockings, because I don't go to church without no stockings on.
Because is that of the devil?
I ain't gonna say. See, I ain't that kind of Christian. It just don't. It ain't good for me, because see, my thighs and stuff be rubbing together. So that stocking provides a layer of protection.
Yes.
It's be a fence all around my thighs. You see what I'm saying? Yes. Either I'm gonna put a stocking or a girdle on. I don't know why y'all don't want to wear no girdle these days, and y'all just be flipping and flopping all down. And then the folks who don't wear girdle look like they be the ones that want to shower every Sunday.
Listen. Everything.
You got knowing to hold them and when to fold them.
Everything be going. Let everything that have breath. Huh? Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I shouldn't have asked you to do that. I didn't know you was gonna go there.
I ain't either.
Listen, but that is when it's in you. It's in you, and like that's why I feel like your community. I'm saying your community like I'm not a part of it. When I see her on live and I'm on TikTok, I be excellent. She be seeing my name pop up there. I'm like, yep. Let me.
I be
hey,
like,
friend.
hey, girl.
Hey, friend, how you doing? But this is what I like about you.
My community though is so wide. Like literally, when I look at my analytics or I look at the people, I have older people. I have younger people. I had to do Auntie Pam had to go to Bethel Baptist Church, and this lady was like, my kids told me about you. And the kids was there, and they were 18, 19. They were like, you are so funny. And so I think that I have black people, white people, old people, young people, mamas, aunties. Like, one lady said that her 90-year-old mama, she had to go down. I said, now you know that Obama phone ain't gonna hold TikTok. You got mama over there on that slow phone. You know auntie can't, you know mama can't watch auntie on that little phone. I said, get her an iPhone so she can see Auntie Pam. Now, but seriously though, reading, comments from people of all ages saying, you remind me of my grandmama, or you remind me, I got an auntie girl that's just like you. Yeah. When Auntie Pam is planning all the family events and all of that it's somebody in everybody's family that you can resonate. And so I feel like that is one good thing, is that my community, it can be a melting pot, because there's something that you can relate to. Like the video that I did talking about Auntie Pam was talking to the young mothers about all the stuff that you heard growing up, you know, about the baby. Not the doctors now tell you don't get a baby nothing but milk. That's all.
Now that was hilarious.
And y'all, I didn't realize. I'm thinking, okay, let me just do this. I didn't think it. I never know what video is gonna do what.
Yeah. And
that video, people were sending to their younger, you know, and so I just be like, okay, God. Just whatever you want me to say or do, that's what I'm gonna do.
Because it's relatable. Like you don't talk about being in the air and doing, you know, being in the airplane and all that stuff. You talk about human things, and I think that's the beauty of comedy. Like I'm not a comic at all. I love to laugh. Now I'm funny to me. It might not be funny to y'all, but I laugh at myself.
Well, baby, that's all that matter, okay? That's all that matter. If you funny to you, then you funny to you, okay? You don't need nobody approval.
I probably wouldn't put it out like that. However, I think that's the beauty of you connect to something. And one of the things I love about you, Erika, and I have not told you this, is how you are relatable. Like you'll do the Auntie Pam thing, but you don't live there. You don't live there. And what I mean by that is when you go live, I know I'm expecting a word from you. Like I'm expecting you went live 2 times where it was just a pinnacle point for me. The first time was when you allowed me on your live, and we ended up talking. You were allowing different people out of the community on the live, and we were talking about covering each other, how women go big back and forth, and just being jealous and all this stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Man, we talked about that, and I was like, man, this lady real. Like that's when I was like, I gotta follow her for real. The second one was when you were, I don't know if you remember this, you were discussing that you was like, I've been covering people for a long time. I'm about to tell my story. And you start telling your story. And one of the things I connected with is not being ashamed of any abuse that I've experienced. And so in that place, what broke that fear or frustration for you to start speaking out loud?
I definitely feel like a lot of people would feel a lot better if they would use their voice. We always say, you know, use your voice, tell your story. But on the flip side of that, we have to provide an environment that is conducive and safe for people to tell their story. Because a lot of times you don't want to tell your story for fear of judgment. You don't want to, you know, for fear of, did you know that such and such and such and such happened? But when you mentally, you have to graduate from worrying about what people will think and focus more on the freedom that you're about to walk in. Because can't nobody tell on me better than I could tell on me.
That's so good.
Can't nobody tell my story better than you can try to draw context clues from what you see, but nobody really knows or can articulate your story better than you. And for years, like I said on that live, like, because, you know, when you present yourself and people think, you know, oh, that's Erika. But they have no idea of the internal struggle. So I think it's important for people, maybe if people understood, like, I used to be a mean girl. Like,
what?
Oh yeah, I did. But if not making an excuse, but if people knew that me being a mean girl parallel me getting my head knocked into the wall when I got home, then maybe they would have a little more empathy.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not that I walk into a room and I'm a B-word, but I have a guard up for a reason, because I done been crossed so many times when I did trust people, when I did give my whole self to people. So now this is what you get. You're going to get this exterior, but we don't sit down and really genuinely want, Jess, tell me your story. Because we don't want to really know.
Wow.
We don't really want to hear. We don't really want to take the time to internalize and hear your journey. We want to abbreviate. We want the Cliff Notes. And sometimes I think the Cliff Notes are fine, but sometimes your telling your story is not really to free you. It's really to free someone else. And I don't know when, like I said, when I go on live, some days I may be Auntie Pam. Some days I went on TikTok the other night and I was laying in bed just chilling, waiting on Jamaica to get to Vegas. And I turned into a whole business coach. We were talking about business. Yeah. Like, you never know where I'm gonna come at, because I don't pre-plan it. You know, a lot of my social media folks say, well, you need to plan your content, and that's hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be genuine. You know what I'm saying? I can kind of do it, but not how most people do. Okay, today you got Erika coming. Next week, I can't do that.
But the beauty about that is, like, that's the evidence that you go with God, Erika. Like, ain't no way you are this successful where you are. And this is the mind-blowing part, Erika, that there is still more.
And when I say that, the very thought of that, back in 2016, and I don't know if any of the people from Periscope that have been following me for a long time may be on here, but this is something that I said way back then. I said, God, as you take me high, keep me low. And that was before Michelle Obama said Let's get that clear. I literally said that, and I think I can go back and pull the proof, because, you know, we need receipts nowadays. Mm-hmm. But when I tell you every day, that is my daily prayer. I don't want to get to the level of success to where people can't touch me. I don't want to get to the level of success where I'm nasty to folks, and I don't want that. That's not what I want. I want people to be able to relatable. You've used that word so many times. I was just on the phone with one of my mentors, and what he told me, he is a comedy guru. He told me that the reason why you are meeting success is because you are relatable. Don't ever lose that.
Yeah.
And so that's really important to me, for me to stay grounded, for me to stay consistent. Now, it's work. Please don't think that doing all of this podcast that you just arrive here and the mic drops down and hi, it's so much work that goes behind the scene, and what we have to do is educate people, because people lead with lifestyle marketing. They go down to the Lexus dealership and the Mercedes and stand in front of a car. They go over to Greystone and stand in front of a house. And y'all on social media, y'all think that's their house or that's their car.
So they lying.
It's lifestyle marketing. Mm-hmm. And so those of us who want to use social media and our influence responsibly, we need to have vulnerable moments. We need to let people know that we are human. We need to let people know, you know what? I remember you went live one day on on TikTok, mm-hmm. and you was like, today just ain't it. Like, I'm having a day. And people started encouraging. People started sowing. Again, if we would just allow ourselves to be human, you don't know what's on the other side of that. You was on there crying because you really was like, y'all, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but today has been a day. The encouragement that people gave you, and you knew it had to be genuine because it pulled on your heartstrings. I feel like we owe ourselves a responsibility to be honest.
Yeah.
And just show people reality. This is reality. Some days, yes, I'm on top of the world, but some days, yeah, I be struggling.
Like with a C.
With a K. Struggling. Struggling.
It's so interesting what you said. It's interesting that I'm about to lead into my Auntie Pam actually had this conversation with Desiree and I. And she mentioned that, because I'm doing this new vlog thing. I got encouraged to vlog. Girl,
oh, wow.
Yeah, vlogging. We vlogging today.
Okay.
But I got encouraged to vlog, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But then sometimes you just listen to people, because people need to know the process. Not only do they need to know, but people are interested in the process for that very reason. These cameras just don't come up by themselves. The lights just don't come on. The scheduling on YouTube don't just happen by itself. The editing, it don't happen by itself. The promoting, the marketing, it does not happen by itself. And so she was like, I was just popping up the camera, like anytime I thought about it. And she said, you got to give me a warning. She was like, I said, why? She was like, I want to make sure like everything. I was like, no, that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
And she was like, it's interesting how different the generations are, because in my generation, you weren't going outside with no bunny. I'm not going outside with no bunny. Well, we still ain't going outside with no bunny. I'm still not going outside with no bunny. But people are flexible with themselves enough to say that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said that so educatedly. Flexible. They flexible with your educated.
That was good. That was good.
They flexible because you don't want to offend people and their decisions about how they carry themselves.
Right.
So we want to say that
it just circles back to being real. Every time I go live, I'm not gonna have these lashes on. Now, 99% of the time, I am, because I don't like bald-headed eyes. However, I'll go on there with no makeup. I'll go on there. I do my makeup in the morning because, again, I don't want to get, one of the things that I always say on my TikTok, y'all don't run me. I go live when I want to. I'm going to send a video. I'm going to make a video when y'all don't run me. Because when we get into that, that's a lot of pressure. Like the way some of these people be on social media, baby, I don't even see how they taking a bath. Because how you on here 4 days in the morning and at dark 30 at night? When is you done bathed? When is you done fixed food for your family? When did the children get picked up from the camp? You've been before the people all day on TikTok. I can't do that. So I'm not gonna go. If I want to go live, and I went live the other night with my gown on, and we had a whole.
Was it a gown or a muumuu?
Nah, baby, it was a gown. GOWN, baby. One of them gowns you get from down there on 19th Street at Cotton's. You remember Cotton's department store in Inslee? Yeah, I had on a gown. It was a little sleeveless gown with the little bow right there. It had a little tiny bow right there. And it had little peaches on it. Listen, I had on a gown. And so one of the ladies, she said, "Oh my gosh, your gown is so cute." I turned that into a whole, again, when you are your authentic self, that lady was waiting on somebody else. She said, "Oh my, I thought I was the only one that still wore gowns." And I said, see, a gown can be a signal to your mate as to what is to come. See, when they see that gown,
they already know what's happening.
When they see that muumuu, and when they see that nightie, yeah, it's a lesson in the gown.
Signal to people.
Come on. But I had on my gown. I was on TikTok, and everybody started saying, I said, "What color your gown?" And y'all, they were, because it was something that they could relate to. Now, what if I ain't gonna go live because I'm in. Girl, you have to be authentic. The reality is you're not going to be all made up, all done up 24/7.
Yeah.
So I think that's why people will gravitate towards your platform, because it's relatable. It's somebody that they can relate to. Oh, yeah, she doing this, but she have good days. She have bad days. She have days where she dress up. She have days where, and that's just me. I can't keep up with doing all that every day.
Yeah, it's a lot. It requires a lot of energy. Even people think that it's just record. No, my mind. Let me get Auntie, because Auntie Pam ain't showing up sad.
First of all, Auntie Pam ain't showing up every day. Let's start there. People like, wait, you ain't make but one video last week. That's all I had.
Capacity.
Come on.
That's all I had. And you worried about you laughing, and I'm barely getting up out the bed.
Come on.
So I can't give you what I don't have. And so I think that's another reason why a lot of people get burned out, because you're trying to give from a place that's empty. You pulling from an empty well. Ain't nothing in there. Your hand all the way down to, you know how when you get down to the bottom and you about to tip over.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else in there, baby. So I can't give. And that's another thing. People who are content creators are in this whole social media thing.
Yeah.
You have to train your audience to, I'm not going to call a name, but there are some social media, I think they started out really well, and then they allowed the audience to dictate. So now they way over in left field, so far away from the original intent of what they were doing, because they allowed them. You got to be strong in, if you don't feel like it, hey, you know what? Next week, we ain't going to have no podcast because I can't. And there will be times like that, and people got to understand that some days we don't have it to give.
Yeah, come on.
And if I don't have it to give, I ain't finna find it. You just gonna have to wait till I got something to give.
Man, you out here freeing. I ain't saying forget the people.
I'm free.
Me and Desiree.
I'm free.
Will there be one?
I'm free.
Are we coming to the altar?
If you don't have it,
I'm free.
Oh, come on.
She got a little tune.
Longer bound.
Come on.
No more chains holding me.
Listen.
My soul is resting.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
My Lord. Now we gotta stop. I feel a turn. Don't do this.
Listen. But I'm so for real. Like just listening to you, really just kind of helped me solidify me, right? So even like yesterday, I was having a conversation with my best friend, one of my best friends. She called. She's like, "Hey, what you got going on today?" And I said, "Oh, I'm doing this. I did this, to this. I still got this to do, and this to do." She's like, "Oh, that's a lot." And I was like, I mean, to me, that's normal. That's my normal day. And I've become okay with that because the reality is, if he's giving it to you, he's giving you the capacity to manage it, and it's our job to learn how to manage it well, right? Yeah. So multiple lanes, that's cool. I think I'm learning how to. I like to use the word to have harmony.
I love it.
To have harmony versus balance, because I don't really think something's always going to be pulling. So to me, when I think of a balance, I think of a scale. Like it's even, and I don't think that just life. I don't think there's really a time where anything is really even. But I think what we learn is how to have things flow and have harmony together. That's so like if you're in this lane, that's cool. I know I'm flowing here, but this thing is here. But I know I can always go back to it. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to make the things have harmony, and I think that's where I am, and being okay with that. Like I do a lot.
But you know what? That's what I was touching on earlier. People who don't function the way that we function, it is a lot to them. They will say stuff like, your friends say, "Man, that's a lot," or "You always doing something," or "Where you at?" "Oh, I'm so and so." You always go, but to us, this is who we are. Yeah. And you gotta, at some point, you have got to be okay with embracing, this is my normal. And my normal may be abnormal to other people.
This is so good.
But this is my normal. And you gotta own that thing, and you gotta stand in it. Okay, I understand that this may not be what you do, but this is what I do. And it's okay for us to walk in harmony with you doing your thing and me doing my many things. If you say we're going to have Girls' Day Friday, we could come together with my many things and your structured things, and we could go have us something to eat, have us a good time, and then
go back to our things.
Go back to our things.
Yeah, that's so good.
I love it. You just helped me, girl. Listen, come on, harmony.
We helping each other. That's the beautiful.
This is beautiful.
That's the beautiful part. And I thank God for this opportunity to, like, for Jess Ask whatever, because that's the heartbeat, like, to bring us together to not only expose and just enhance, but to gather, because our community is so important. Not just the community that we build, but the community that we are a part of, because we need each other. Erika, you've been such a blessing. I can't let this be the last time.
Absolutely. Call me anytime.
That this can't be the last time.
Yeah, I had a ball.
Because this was so good. I think we learned, you was Auntie Pam, business coach, friend girl, as my grandma say, the friend girl. You were all things to us in this space, in this small time. But one of the things that we like to do here at Jess Ask is to allow you the opportunity for a last word. If the listeners did not hear anything that you said, what would be your final statement? What would you like to leave as your final statement?
Be your authentic self, regardless of what other people may have purposed for you. Sometimes we allow other people to tell us, your daddy was a preacher, you're going to be a preacher. And we fall into, be your authentic self, and be okay with your authentic self ruffling some feathers. Because sometimes people won't understand who you are. They won't understand decisions that you make. But as I sit here today, I can 100% say that being me, whatever that is, has helped me to become me. It has helped me to be. I don't have to follow a script. I don't have to fit into a certain template, because I finally am embracing the fact that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So my final word to everybody is, and it's simple. It sounds simple, but really being yourself is not as easy. Yeah. Because being yourself may offend others. Being yourself may make people misunderstand you. Being yourself may cause you to lose friends, may cause you to lose family members. But the freedom that you experience from being you, unmatched. Unmatched.
Man, the blessings of being you. Ooh, there it is.
Let me write that down.
Come on.
The blessings.
Let me put that in my cellular device.
You.
The blessing of being you. The man took the time to create you. Before you knew you, before your mama and daddy knew each other, he knew you. How dare you not be who he created you to be? How dare you not reach the zenith that he has for you? How dare you? And he took the time before to create you. I owe it to him to be me.
I feel like another shift just came. Like my thighs are tingling. I'm like,
hey, watch yourself. Watch yourself.
Y'all, we gonna cut this off, but we probably finna go a little bit. We probably have a conversation, you know, after record. But this has been so amazing, Erika. When I say I can't thank you enough for just being here.
Have. This has been amazing. Thank you for the opportunity.
You friend now.
Okay.
I know Auntie Pam. I know Erika.
Hey.
But y'all, shout out to you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We thank you. We love you. And until next week, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask.